Hi everybody, welcome to Transformation Tuesday. This is Cecile Ahrens with Get Mental Podcast. How are you guys doing? This is our weekly topic. We are wrapping up our July campaign on financial health and how it relates to our mindset and mental health. So I hope you guys are enjoying it thus far. To wrap up, I want to talk about financial IQ, because it's something that we don't normally hear, especially in a lot of talk on mindfulness and well-being. Hi there, Thomas. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Please type in any questions or comments that you might have. I know you're an expert in this field. So, we talk about intelligence quotient a lot, right? But financial IQ is a way that you want to think about financial education and financial literacy, because it literally is one of the things that are one of the things we need for a successful life here on planet Earth. And by success, I'm not talking about just material success, but meaning, as we've talked about in previous weeks, if you don't have financial stability, it's going to be hard for you to go for other things in your life. So financial stability is the anchor, it's the bedrock in which you create a foundation for your life, because without that, you're always going to be in survival mode, and then it's going to be harder for you to pursue other things. And additionally, financial insecurity creates a lot of stress for us. It hurts our bodies, our spirit, our emotions, and our mental health. That's why we're driving this point home. So I want to talk a little bit about poverty before we dive deep, okay? Because this is all kind of interrelated. Poverty, unfortunately, let's just talk about America, still very much affects people of color, Black communities and people of color, okay? So I'm not trying to get political here. These are just the facts. And I know there's some systemic things that can be attributed to why that is, but I also believe it's a lack of financial education. This is key for us in order to break the cycle of poverty, or break the cycle of financial insecurity. Is we need to educate ourselves, okay? But just some interesting stats before I dig deep. Did you know that money is the second leading cause of divorce? So back in the day when I was, studying for my degree, money was actually number one. But right now, or sex, one of those. But anyway, it's, as of recent research, it's apparently, one of the studies show that it's the second leading cause of divorce. That's how important this subject is. Secondly, 23% of African Americans and 22% of Hispanics are financially healthy, compared to 50% of white individuals. So that's a big gap there in income, okay? And I am not going to get into the whys, because that's not what this talk is about. But if you think about it this way, it's estimated that it'll take an African American person or community an average of 228 years to attain the same level of wealth as white individuals, and a Latino person or community 84 years. I don't know what the stats is for Asian Americans. So this gap is going to keep widening and widening. The good news is, this is what Get Mental is about, is we want to equip you and empower you with information and hope. Okay, let me answer Kevin's question. So Kevin, the number one cause for divorce is infidelity. So not surprising. But last time I checked with the stats, this was granted, 20 years ago when I was in college. Money was number one, or sex was number two, and in-laws was number three. But one of the studies that was recently done by Ramsey Solutions showed, they surveyed 1,000 married couples, and that was the number one reason for high conflict and lots of fights, and eventually leading to divorce. So it behooves you all, if you're married or want to get married or want to be in a long-term relationship, to get this money thing under control, okay? So I just want to talk about some of the practical steps, okay, that you can start today to empower yourself. So education is key. Knowledge is power. You guys have heard that a gazillion times. Well, that cannot be truer in terms of money and financial stability and creating financial wealth, you know, if we may call it that, right? So education is key. How do you get education? Read, get financial advice. I cannot stress that enough. You don't, right, Kevin? Yeah, because you don't have to do this on your own. The thing is, you know, just like you need a hairdresser to do your hair, right? Or a mechanic to help you on your car, you need help. You need to take advantage of professionals who have studied these trends and this field of knowledge, you know, and not reinvent the wheel, and think of adding one to your team. And if you need some help, you can call Kevin Thomas. Kevin, why don't you give us your contact information, and at the end I'll let people know. But honestly, like, just look at getting financial advice. And if you don't know where to get it from, ask people, ask friends, ask family, look at kind of anybody in your circle who might be a good role model for you, and pick their brain. So start there, reading up, getting a mentor, taking courses. The good news is there's a lot of what's called literacy programs out there now, because the community, our society is now starting to really recognize the gap between the haves and the have-nots, and they're starting to realize how financial education is a missing ingredient in trying to break the cycle of poverty, and also in trying to help raise the level of mental health satisfaction, you know, that people have. So Kevin Thomas is a financial consultant, and his website is equitable.com. Thank you, Kevin. Equitable.com. And his phone number, if you all are interested, it's 561-312-3862. 561-312-3862. So thank you for that, Kevin. So education is key. Get advice, get informed, get educated. There's a lot of free, amazing, high quality information out there now, helping people increase their financial IQ, okay? The second step is identify your core beliefs around money. And I talked about this, you know, last week and the week before. T and I really focused on this. Basically, explore your money messages, your money modeling, identify your core beliefs. So an example of a core belief is, oh, I'll never have what they have, or you know, for me it was the money is the root of all evil. I was raised with that belief. Or you know, I can't be rich. I don't have what it takes, right? So those core beliefs are so powerful because they will guide your choices in life. So it behooves you to explore that. And if you need help unpacking that, that's when someone like me, a therapist, can help you, especially if there's around a lot of dysfunction and trauma around money, or a coach like T. Smith, you know. This is where you can add people like us on your team. You're welcome for the shout out, Kevin. I hope somebody calls you, and I'm confident you'll help them, equip them with the right tools. So that's the second step. Identify your core beliefs. Third step, you got to take action. You got to commit to a goal. So for example, if your goal is paying off all my credit cards, you have to first commit and take action. Hopefully, using the knowledge that you're getting from all those resources that I talked about a couple of minutes ago. And you have to be willing to take the first step. So, you know, does that mean, right, like that you consolidate your debt, or that you sacrifice and not, you know, if you're kind of buying, I don't know, I know somebody who drinks Starbucks coffee almost every day, and if you just cut that down to 50%, that's a lot of money that you could put towards your credit card. So it's going to look different for everybody, but the idea is get informed and be willing to take action towards your goals. And if you're stuck, or feeling overwhelmed by that, that's when a therapist or a coach can really help you, okay? The last step is to explore other sources of income, to explore ways to increase your profitability or your income. So that's where a financial consultant like Kevin can help, right? And that's where, learning from people who are kind of doing things creatively and not being super traditional. You take a look at what they're doing, like income doesn't just have to be earned from a job, right? Like you could have multiple sources of income. You want to start learning about compound interest. You want to, learn about how your credit can work for you. You want to learn about, and again, this is a little bit outside of my scope because I'm not a financial advisor, but I've done a lot of learning so that, my family can be in a position where we can feel more secure about our future, because that is the thing that financial knowledge, financial IQ can give you, is it can give you a sense of hope. It can give you a sense of confidence, even in tough times like a pandemic. It can help you prepare for the storms that may be unforeseen and usually out of our hands. And if you're diversifying, then you are also, like they say, not putting all your eggs in one basket. And financial health, like I've said before, is one of the pillars. It's not everything. Okay? And it's not the pursuit of money that we're promoting here. It's the pursuit of knowledge that we're promoting. It's the pursuit of knowledge. I'm going to reiterate that we're promoting, because financial IQ is personal power. And when you have a sense of personal power about your life, you have more autonomy, you have more freedom, you have more choice, which then it directly affects your mental health and your physical health. Okay, so Kevin is saying something here, but behavioral finance is one of the top reasons for success or failure. There you go. Thank you, Kevin, for making this concept concise. So there's a term for it. It's called behavioral finance. And contact Thomas, he can talk to you about that. And Thomas, isn't it so that your behavioral patterns when it comes to money has a lot to do with your values and your mindset and your upbringing? So that's my question to you. We'll wait for the answer. So because they all go hand in hand, Hi there, Melissa. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to chime in. So behavioral finance is going to directly impact the way you relate and move in the world, financially speaking, okay? So Kevin is saying habits of saving and spending. And that most people are spending beyond their means. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where the mindset and mental health piece come in. Thank you, Kevin. This is awesome. Thank you. Because when people who are spending beyond their means, it's usually driven by feelings of inadequacy, feelings of insecurity, low self-esteem, wanting immediate gratification. There's a lot of mental health related reasons for why you're pursuing that. Okay, so it behooves you to understand that. That's the core beliefs that I was talking about, and then get yourself educated so then you can commit and take action towards your goals. And again, you don't have to do this by yourself. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't advise that, because we all need support. We all need a team, to help us out. So breaking the debt cycle is something I'm really passionate about. And trust me, I had to learn the hard way, because like I said, my money messages was very distorted, and I was largely a spender. I'm not saying swing to the other end of the pendulum and just be super frugal. No, it's all about balance. And in Buddhism, they talk about the middle path as being the way, because you don't want to be on two extremes, right? But if you don't have the education and the financial IQ, you're not going to know how to do that, how to have balance. So again, right, physical health is important, mental health is important, financial health is important, and spiritual health is important. And those are what I call the 4 pillars of a loving, satisfying, happy life. Those are the 4 things. In the years I've worked with people and doing my own personal work: physical, mental, spiritual, financial. We need to find the balance in all of those. So hopefully that's helpful so far. So breaking the debt cycle is a big deal for T and I, because we both come from communities, you know, and families where money was really an issue. So, okay, Kevin is saying in the African and Latino community, in the African American and Latino community, unfortunately, we don't get the same habits as the white community. Yes, that's how. If you missed this, guys, and you're just tuning in now, I started this talk with that. I talked about some statistics. I'm gonna repeat it again. 23% of African Americans and 22% of Hispanics are financially healthy, compared to 50% of white individuals. And if we continue with this current rate of income growth, it'll take the average African American family 228 years and a Latino family 84 years to attain the same level of wealth. And married people, by the way, are happier and wealthier, because you're combining your wealth and your income power and your saving power. You know, no wonder that it's the second leading cause of divorce, because without it, can you imagine, right? Like, I know what that's like, because I had to watch, you know, close people in my life and family members go through that stuff. It's awful. So it's not in vain that we're pursuing money. It's about pursuing stability and freedom and confidence and hope. That's what the pursuit of money really is about, you know. And I think Warren Buffett even said something like that, like, you know, we're wanting more money because essentially we're wanting more freedom, we're wanting more time. So don't get it twisted, guys. You know, we are not saying glorify money or make money your God. As a matter of fact, I'm saying the opposite, you know, because that is not also the way to happiness and health. Get the knowledge so you're not also wasting your time and spinning your wheels. And Kevin is just saying, yeah, better money mindset is the key. Absolutely. And I'm passionate about that, because that is one of the ways we can break the cycle of poverty, especially for my people of color, you know, like myself. And generational cycles of poverty get perpetuated over and over again for Hispanics, Asian Americans, some Asian Americans, and or developing countries, right? And then African Americans, because we don't have the knowledge. I really believe, aside from systemic issues, I really believe the biggest problem right now is a lack of financial literacy, because we have the opportunities in the United States. Really, we do. You know, and I say that with confidence because I grew up in a third world country. I know the difference between having real opportunities and having hardly any opportunities. So we have opportunities here, guys, but we don't have the education. So get the education, because it's there, it's available, and like I said, a lot of nonprofits are now also providing this information at no cost to you. Learn how to break the cycle of debt. Learn how to increase your income and your assets. Don't just chase the money in vain, okay? Do what you love, all right? That's really important. But also respect your money. And what I mean by that is, when you respect your time and your energy, then you're going to respect your money too. Okay, does that make sense? When you respect your time and your energy, then it behooves you to respect your money as well. Meaning, if you're working your behind off for 40, 50, 60 hours a week and you're making this money, but then you're not respecting that because you're just spending it aimlessly, or you're not being mindful about it, in a way you're not respecting the energy you've put forth for that money, right? And some of the reasons for that are largely because of behavioral reasons, mental health reasons, and reasons related to mindset. So there you have it, guys. I'm going to recap. Financial IQ is important. The way to do that is educate yourself, identify your core beliefs, commit to a goal and take action, and explore other ways to increase your income or your assets, and diversify so that we can have more hope, confidence, autonomy, freedom, and more happiness in our life. Okay? It's not everything, but it's one of the most important foundations for a happier, healthier life. All right? So that's the message that I want to relay today. And T's going to talk about this on Thursday and give you some more of his expertise and value on this subject. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you again, Kevin, for contributing. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, help the Get Mental community by sharing your knowledge, your experience, your personal stories of, triumphs and tribulations and how you've overcome, because that is what this community is about as well. And again, I know we're in a pandemic, but it's not impossible to get information. There's always a way if you're willing to learn and to work towards it. Okay, and I know there's a lot of economic instability right now, but the human spirit can be so strong and powerful and resilient and creative. That's what you guys want to think about. Like, okay, here I am. I might be down. I might not have a job, but what can I do with this time and space to continue to grow? And financial IQ is something that you can start now. Okay, the information is here. It's available. Trust me on this. This will be one of the single most important pieces of education that you can give to yourself and your loved ones. And if you have children, your children and their children. And this is how we can come up. This is how we can break the cycle of poverty for our families and our generation. Okay? So hopefully you guys found that helpful. Like I always say, be well, be gentle, get mental, because we all have issues. But we also all have power and choice. Take care. Until next time, bye.